Hey everybody, I'm LaserDude99 and welcome to another LaserDude Rant. This is something that I've really been wanting to talk about for a while, but with all the stuff I had going on, I have never really found myself enough of a chance to breathe to do this rant, and I really wanted to talk about it. It's the state of movie trailers today. Because movie trailers are in a weird place. It feels like we've gone back in time to the olden days when movie trailers used to show basically the entire plot of a movie, showed you everything you really need to, beyond everything you needed to know, and show you all the most epic moments in the movie, and basically showed too much. So, this is not a new complaint. Everyone's complaining about, oh man, movies these days, they're showing basically the whole movie in the trailer. Why are they doing this? They're showing too much. So, instead of complaining about, oh, this is a bad thing that they're doing, let's ask the question, why are they doing it? This isn't something that's just come up this year. This has been something that's been a problem with movies for quite a bit now, quite a couple of years. So why are movie companies doing it still? I think one of the reasons is the more hyped they can get the audience, the better. And the more they can get the audience hyped is by showing them more and more of the movie. You know, by showing more, you get the audience intrigued more. But this is going to get to a point where it's going to backfire. Let's compare two trailers that just came out recently that I'll show you basically how to do a trailer right and how to do it wrong. To be fair, one of these is a teaser and the other one is a trailer, but I'm still going to use these in my comparison. For the right way to do it, we have the Star Wars trailer. Now, for this trailer, I still don't really know what the story is. I'm showing a whole bunch of images, but they really still don't give me what the story is to be exactly. I got that the two main characters are going to be a girl and a guy who is a stormtrooper. And those are going to be the two main characters, but we have the stormtrooper. Lots of scenes with him, like, regretting what he's doing and doesn't want to be a stormtrooper. We don't really know, though, where the stormtroopers part of the galaxy is. Are they still around? Like, do they control a sector of space yet? And the rebels are just trying to end off this last resistance of the stormtroopers and they're getting more desperate. We don't know who this guy with the hilted lightsaber is. We don't know anything. The trailer just shows you very little. It just teases you with these little things and all these different images. And the dialogue that Luke says in the beginning, most of it is from, Return of the Jedi, a movie that we've already seen. But it still gives us a lot of interesting things to see, and it doesn't give too much. I still think we'll probably need one more trailer for a little bit of clarification on what the story is going to be about, but beyond that, that's it. I don't want to see anything else. The one I want to talk about that is bad is Terminator Genesis. This basically shows every single solitary thing that's going to be happening. It leaves nothing to speculation. It shows you everything. It shows basically every little twist and turn that's going to happen along the way, and the only thing that we have left is now fill in the blanks. And I don't like that. Now, don't get me wrong, just because it's a bad trailer doesn't mean the movie is going to be bad. There's plenty of good movies that have had bad trailers. Heck, there's plenty of bad movies that have had good trailers. It doesn't mean one way or another that means the movie is going to be good or bad. I'm just saying the state of the trailer, it shows too much. It gives away way too much details, gives away way too many things. However, will I say I'm more excited for the film? I guess. I'm still excited to see it, but I don't think... For a movie guy like me, I'm going to see it anyway. It's Terminator. Of course I'm going to see it. Why wouldn't I? So for the strategy to just get it out there, I think it's like... This would be like nowadays, when the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, you tease Darth Vader saying in the trailer, Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. And then you ended the trailer there. Even if you did that and didn't say the final line, no, I am your father. Even if you didn't show that, that would still be enough to hint to people where the story is going and what themes it's going to bring up. That is not something you want to draw attention to. That's the thing about a trailer. You want to draw attention to the movie, but not exactly to the details of what are happening in the story. Just enough so you got the people watching will have an idea of what's going to happen in the movie, but not where the story is going to flow. Another thing that I really am bugged by this, and it's not exactly trailers, clips. Why show clips? I hear that, I haven't actually seen any of them, but I hear that Avengers Age of Ultron has showed a whole bunch of different clips about stuff in their movie, and I always resist. I always resist showing clips, because, okay, I'm going to tell you about the one time I actually started watching movie clips. It was for the movie The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Chronicles of Narnia is a series of books that I'm a big fan of, and so that was probably one of the most anticipated movies of my life when I was looking forward to it. And so I started watching clips for it online, and I saw all of them. I saw each and every little thing that I could see. I saw every TV spot, every little thing I saw, and then when me and my family, we all went to see the movie, there were some points where they were laughing and I wasn't, because I had already seen the joke. I had already seen the joke, or I had already seen the scene, so the scene didn't flow. Like, don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed the movie, but part of the magic was taken out of it when you're not there experiencing it as a whole for the first time. I will say this, guys, if you watch movie clips, it cheapens the experience. I can say that from experience, because I've done it. I did it once. I will never do it again. Never. Because watching movie clips cheapens the experience for you. You're not getting it as a whole. You know, even with trailers that show too much, they might show like a one joke, or give hints to a big scene or something like that, but it's not going to ruin the movie as a whole. I would say the Captain America the Winter Soldier trailer maybe showed a little bit too much, but in the end I still like that movie a whole lot. I mean, heck, it was number one of the best movie, my favorite movie of 2014. But then there's one more thing with movie trailers these days that drives me up the wall, that I absolutely hate, is when you get movies that make up scenes for the trailer that do not actually happen in the movie. Basically, trailers that are misleading its audience. One of the biggest examples is the recent Godzilla Remake. In the first teaser trailer, there's a scene, which probably is an iconic scene, where all these army guys say, okay, there's something we have to attack, or blah, 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 and then they're jumping down, and they're, gliding down, and you hear, like, the music from When You Hear a Witch in Left 4 Dead coming, and then you see this bulky shape of Godzilla. That scene is not in the movie. It's not. In the movie, when they're falling down, that scene is replaced with Godzilla fighting one of the Motos, one of the monsters in the movies. But since they didn't want to give away what the monster was, they decided to make a fake scene, so we didn't even know there was another monster in the movie till we saw it. That drives me nuts. I mean, you got sometimes when there's movies that, like, let's say for The Amazing Spider-Man, in the trailer, they had that scene where Harry's like, well, Oscorp has you monitored, and Peter Parker's like, why? He's like, well, isn't that the question of the day? I saw so many memes about that. It's like, this trailer isn't in the movie. Why? Isn't that the question of the day? Because, it was like, well, that scene was very interesting. It was, people wanted to see it, and then it wasn't in the movie. Stuff like that doesn't really bother me, because it probably, and you think about it, it probably just was a deleted scene that didn't make the cut, that they were going to put it in, and then they decided not to. Movies are in a constant state of flux. When the trailer is set, the movie isn't 100% finished. They got most of it done, it just needs to be finished and edited. But so when you got stuff like that where it's like, okay, we had this scene in the trailer, but we gotta cut it because it just doesn't flow with the movie, fine, I'm okay with that. But when you do stuff like what I said with the Godzilla movie, where you make up scenes to explain stuff, one of the ones that also pissed me off a little bit was Guardians of the Galaxy. And you see, when the Guardians of the Galaxy came out, I was really pumped for it, I really liked it. And this doesn't suffer the thing where it shows too much. Actually, it doesn't. It's a very good trailer for that respect. But it has the scene where they're introducing everybody, and they're all on the prisoner machine, and you got John C. Reilly saying, oh, this is Peter Quill, he calls himself Star-Lord, this is Rocket, this is Groot, this is blah, da, 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 and then they say, and this is Drax the Destroyer, hunting Thanos, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, if you watch the movie, Thanos, and I'm like, excuse me, I saw this movie, Drax wasn't there. Drax is already in the prison where these people were sent to. That's how they met up. And then in the trailer, he says, they call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy. No, they didn't. Not at that point in the movie. They called them Guardians of the Galaxy at the end of the movie, only because, you know, Ronan said it. But at the beginning of the movie, they all hated each other. You know, Rocket and Groot were trying to get the bounty on Quill. Quill was trying to sell the Infinity Gem, and Gamora was trying to get it as well, and they were all fighting over it. They weren't a team. They weren't a team till the end of the movie. So that entire scene was just there to explain it to the audience. Now you might say, is that the worst thing in the world? I say it's lazy. The movie is supposed to give you a picture of what the movie is like, and so by deceiving your audience, even in those slight ways, it's kind of lazy, you know? They could have gotten around that. They could have done a different scene. Like, that just scene doesn't make any sense because it actually didn't happen that way in the movie. So you can tell that that scene was only shot for the trailer, and that bugs me off the wall. If you're going to do that, go all the way. Do what Pixar used to do. Remember when Pixar would do these things where they'd make entire scenes that were just not in the movie, just enough so you could give yourself a view of what the characters were going to be like? Like, you had Mike and Sully going into a kid's room and they got in an argument because they were in the wrong room, or you had Marlin trying to ask for directions and Dory scares all the fish. Basically, you had different... They did those things, and those things aren't in the movie, but you still got an idea of what those characters were and what they were like and what they were doing. So, if you're going to do this, go all the way. Do what Pixar did. But don't just make up scenes for the movie and deceive your audience. I will now go on to one of my biggest gripes where that did this. Iron Man 3. Look, I don't want to do a whole nother rant on Iron Man 3 and how much I didn't like it. And just so you guys know, I still don't like it. For those who like it, fine, go ahead and like it. I just don't. I can't. Because the trailer was a lie. And I said this in my review. Because not only did the entire trailer sell us all on the premise that it was going to be Iron Man versus the Mandarin, and it was going to be them battling for supremacy. That was not even... It didn't say anything about Extremis. We only got, like, one shot of Guy Pearce. His character didn't have a line in any of the trailers, I'm pretty sure. And you had lines that the Mandarin said in the trailer that were not in the movie. Like, he says something like, "This is the beginning of the rest of your life." You know, something like that. Or of what's left of your life. You know, there's lines that the Mandarin says in the trailer that is not actually in the movie because it doesn't actually fit, because the movie's not actually about the Mandarin. That is taking it to the farthest extreme. When you actually lie to your audience about what the movie is about. That, to me, is where you go too far with trailers. That is, to me, that is the worst offense a movie trailer can do. Not showing too much, not making you interested, is actually lying to your audience so you can trick them into thinking that it's something else. I, personally, that's how I feel. I do feel, though, that the most common crime that trailers do these days is they show too much. So, I'm hoping that this is something that... Here's the thing. Here's my thing to you guys. When you feel you've seen enough, don't watch anymore. I've seen 3 trailers of the Avengers Age of Ultron. I don't need to see any more. Even when TV spots come on that I haven't seen before on the television, I'm just like, okay, I don't really need to watch this. You know, I don't not watch, but I'm not looking for them, okay? I've seen all I need to see to get me hyped to the fullest of Avengers Age of Ultron. The reason companies like keeping out putting more and more trailers is because it actually works. It gets people hyped up more. So if we want this trend to die, we need to do it ourselves by just not watching the new trailers when they come out. If you think you've got enough information to go on, you're already hyped enough, and you don't want anything else spoiled for you, then that's it. Don't watch anymore. Because you can't expect the Hollywood people to do that for you when it seems to them like showing you everything makes them more money. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'm LazyDude99. If I don't like it, it's not worth it. See you around. Be sure to check out more of my other videos on my channel. And wait for more coming soon.